your continued engagement and support of what is happening in our dear country today. Let me start today by most sincerely express heartfelt gratitude to all those who supported us in 2023 election, especially the youth and first-time voters who sacrificed everything, despite all the obstacles, distractions, and everything, to support what we're doing, believing in the possibility of a new Nigeria. Today is the beginning of our financial accountability, especially the crowdfunding managed by a team led by Aisha Yusuf. And she's 1,000 will follow up after her presentation. Thank you for your support.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, everyone. Good morning, gentlemen of the press. I always want to add lady, but it's too like just this. Okay, you want me to hold on a bit?
Or can I move? Can she come here? No, she can come here and put it. Okay. Okay. Is it okay now?
Thank you.
So she will go on.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, gentlemen of the press. It's an honor being here, standing here, and representing the fundraising team. We had a campaign crowdfunding where Nigerians were asked to donate to the campaign of AHMED campaign for the 2023 election. Today we are having that campaign fundraising report presentation. Accountability and transparency is very critical and it's very important. And at any time that we ask people to donate and they do so willingly, it's very important for us to come back to them and show them how their monies were judiciously used. The mandate of the crowdfunding fundraising team was as follows. His Excellency Peter Obi gave the following mandate to the team, and that was to raise funding from Nigerians using the campaign's official accounts and ensure funds are judiciously used to support the presidential campaign of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. For this particular presentation that we are doing today, we are specifically concerned about the Obi Baba Ahmed campaign, for which there were accounts, 4 accounts that were used. These accounts are were accounts in Zenith Bank, Heritage Bank, Globus Bank, and also Sterling Bank. They were made public by His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, and citizens were asked to donate as generously as they wanted to. At this juncture, we must say we thank everyone that donated in cash and kind. It's not been easy, especially with the kind of mindset we have in this country where we don't think as citizens we're supposed to donate. But indeed, citizens came out and they put their monies where their votes are, and they were ready to use their money and not wait for, as usually we see in our climate, for the candidate to be the one bringing in that money. And for that, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. We go on to the activity and resource report. Donations from citizens, we received 595 million naira, 976,994 naira. This is the amount that were raised in these 4 bank accounts that we talked about. I know there have been reports out there that there were billions of naira that were raised, some even say hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, we hope we'll see those monies, and if there are people out there that can help us track those monies, we would want to see them. But what we received specifically was this particular amount, 500, let me repeat it once again, 595 million naira, 976,000 naira, 994 naira. We also received 800 million naira from the candidate himself. And I know some might wonder, how did we know that these monies were from the candidate? How were we able to differentiate? These were monies that were put in by the candidate that were supposed to be used to pay for the polling agents. So we knew that they paid before charges of 200 million naira each, and that was what gave a total of 800 million naira from the candidate. We designed a strategic blueprint focused on channeling the movement's energy to support His Excellency Peter Obi and Baba Ahmed's election in collaboration with different support groups. Remember, we had a lot of support groups and we worked together with them. We provided direct and indirect support to over 100 support groups across all 36 states in Nigeria. Also mobilized and supported over 100,000 grassroots across the 36 states in Nigeria. We also deployed media-related campaigns that reached over 11 million people, leveraging over 40 radio stations, community outreaches, and social media. Would have loved to have used television and all of that, but because of our financial constraint, and we're very mindful of being judicious in our usage of the funds that we receive and being able to reach more people. So we limited what we had to just radio. So out of all of this thing, campaign materials worth 268 million naira, 374,330 naira were procured and distributed across the 36 states and also Abuja. Media and radio broadcasting cost was about 16 million naira, 422,867 naira. Election promotion expenses, we had 10,808,948 naira that we use for election promotion expenses. For polling unit agents, we spent 324 million naira, 381,700. And then we had bank charges, of course. The banks didn't warehouse the monies for us for free, and we had to pay 1,750,544 naira for bank charges. We also had administrative charges, which were 477,000 naira. We deployed 744,500,000 to cover legal expenses. And then campaign and election activities, we had another 28,500,000 naira. Let me just piggyback on the issue of legal fees. Remember what I said earlier, we had 800,000 that was brought in by the candidate himself. We did, 800 million, thank you so much for that correction. We had 800 million that was paid, given by the candidate himself. And so we were supposed to use that to pay. He had about 1.something billion earmarked to pay for the polling unit agents. So earmarked to pay for the polling unit agents. And then when we got to that towards the election, there were some materials, of course, that we couldn't produce. A good number of the materials were produced by most of the producers here. We have the team lead, he will take on that. We'll come to him very shortly, but I just need to give this background explanation. And so, some monies came in when it was like a week to election. They have 2 weeks to election, so we couldn't produce any of those campaign materials, and we made the decision that we're going to put some of that monies from the public, put it towards payment of polling unit agents. This is still part of the election expenses, and this is what our citizens had donated towards. So when we did all of that, we found out that the agents that we had, the amounts that we had to pay for them, we had some left over, and so the candidate himself now acts on the way that these monies were paid for legal fee. So that's why you see the legal fee being high up there. So at this moment, I'm going to call on the team lead in terms of our procurement, on how the steps that we took to ensure that every penny was judiciously used in a way that we're able to get the most material that we can. So at this moment, I call on Mr. Secretary.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Excellency, for giving us the opportunity to serve you, to serve Nigerians. Very much. Thank you.
What I want to do is you don't want
The way you ask.
Thank you very much, sir, Your Excellency, for this opportunity, and to Nigerians who entrusted us with your resources, I want to say thank you as well. Comrade Aisha has given us a breakdown regards to how we spent the resources that were entrusted to us. But what I want to basically buttress is the philosophy that guided how we manage these resources. Because it's important that the resources that were given to us, we manage them judiciously and ensure that they delivered on the real reason why Nigerians gave us those resources. So the first thing we did was that we adopted a merit-based procurement process designed to ensure that we get value for money. So we put out a call for vendors within the movement, people who have invested a lot, use their resources to support the campaign without being paid. It was a major criteria. People who have put so much into the campaign and they were professionals in what they do. We asked them to send their bids, and we had a committee of people who observed several bids, and then we had a framework that we adopted to arrive at the vendors that we used in delivering some of these materials across different areas of the campaign. Then the next thing we did was that we adopted a skeptical approach to fund requests designed to ensure funds are used judiciously. So beyond just people giving us their codes and requests for funds and everything, we asked questions, we were critical, figured out their business structure, how they were running, their capacity. We wanted to ensure that we leverage resources wisely, and I'm proud to say that, and the team is proud to say that, of the different vendors that we engaged on across different tasks, delivered exceedingly well. They delivered based off of the resources that were given to them. Then we also adopted a framework to ensure disbursed funds were used judiciously. Very important. We want to ensure that when we give resources to vendors, people who work on the project, that they use these funds judiciously. We adopted that process. Then fund disbursements were made with approval from His Excellency and two other signatories to provide constant oversight. So whatever decision we took in terms of disbursing funds, we are made with the full acknowledgement of His Excellency and also signatories to the account. So no funds left the account without the approval of His Excellency, so as to provide constant oversight. Now, conflict of group interest rules were established to ensure decision on fund disbursement are made based on value and merit. It was very important to ensure that there were no conflict of interest. So you find a situation whereby members of the procurement team, key decision makers, had no role in terms of, there were no conflict of interest. What do I mean by conflict of interest? It was a policy that monies would not flow into private accounts, but would flow into business accounts. And no member of the official team in any way had any access to whatever funds they were disbursed. It was very important to ensure there were no conflict of interest. So we made decisions based off of the merit as opposed to any conflict of interest. So that was a core philosophy powered by the virtues and values that our His Excellency stands for. That the values is true for influenced how we discuss our assignment. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sentu, for that.
Yes, please again. Well, what's more, thank you. I have to call this process, which I'm sure I'll follow up with due course in other areas, because we've come to the end of this exercise. It is now time to count to those who supported us, be able to brief them. We're also going to commend and thank you for to express our gratitude and continue in doing the right thing for Nigeria, because you can't just say it's only when you're in office that you're going to do the right things. It is something that you have to do continuously. Thank you.
Okay.
Is there?
Wait a minute. You came the last time. Okay, you yield the mic to him. You want to start? Okay, just wait again. Just give them.
Anyone that wants to speak can please go behind.
Okay. Good morning, His Excellency, and team, my colleagues here. I am Gloria Kiba. I report for Niger Blitz News, an online news portal where we update events per second. Now, this is a very good, I would say it's transparent to an extent. Nigerians have been waiting, to know, been following up, to know how this money is spent, especially with the trust they have, with PO. This is for Nigeria. My concern is the diaspora contributions. There will be another period where the money is realized, from Nigerians in the diaspora would also, because they would also want to know if monies came in, how was it utilized judiciously, and to know where further support will come upon. And I believe that that's the next step, because that will be the next conversation that will start happening, because people will start talking. So would like to know monies that came in from diaspora and how it was expended. Very, very great work.
Okay. Let me.
Yeah, you want me to?
Okay, let me start. First is that, like I should have mentioned, there's been all sorts of comments and allegations. In fact, one of the people who mentioned we received about $150 million. Let me categorically state it. That all the funds received directly and indirectly from that is not up to one, it's about not up to 1% of what is mentioned. And this, some of it are part of what have been exchanged and given to action. We're actually going to go to the various people who supported us in diaspora to say thank you and tell them what was realized. And we also are going to put an information out there that whoever knows where funds are supposed to have been remitted to help us trace and get that. But know that people are claiming we received about $150 million. And as 30 years, we haven't seen 1%. And I stand for anybody to dispute or prove that.
Okay, next question. Follow up.
Yeah.
You ask question, please. You are not me, please.
Excellency, yeah, this is a move in the right direction. But you see, as you are doing this for your campaign organization, what becomes of the party? There are so many allegations. And somehow you have not spoken. Akure, the chairman, has been accused of stealing money. Even Naira herself was accused. So, what is your comment to that?
What we're doing today is distinct and completely separate from the party and the party fund. We're just dealing strictly with OBI that you can pay fund. And I've told everybody that whatever we receive, directly, indirectly, from somebody, will be accounted for transparently. For the party, I'm a member of the party, and they have chosen to say I'm the leader. What we need to do in the party, and I discussed it with the leadership, is that we must now appoint a reputable audit firm to audit and be able to deal with the accounting of the party. When I'm involved with anywhere money is, it must be transparently right. So there's the allegation, accounting allegation now, that must be thoroughly investigated and verified. And we reconcile it. I know exactly what we're doing. That is for the party. What we're doing here is accounting for the campaign. And I'm using the opportunity also to appeal to various support groups or individuals and parties that receive some form of funding to support what we're doing, which we're very grateful, to account those they receive it from. Because there's some people who supported some support groups, there's some people who, even abroad, who collected money and said they're going to use it to work in the north and everything. We were not stringent that everything you collect must come to us. But we want whatever is collected to be accounted for. That's why we appeal to the public. If you think this happening and everything, let us know.
Thank you so much. Because I just saw part of the question was also directed at me on the issue of allegation of monies being misappropriated. So the first thing is that every donation that we collected under OBI AHMED campaign were paid directly into the campaign account. And I can categorically state here, there is no Nigerian, living or dead, who gave Aisha Yusufu a single kobo. Not at all. Even His Excellency that we're doing anything for would not give us anything to collect. He had to pay into his account. So for us, we're very strict. I'm sure you heard what Mr. Century did talk about. We're very strict in terms of ensuring that everything, we're skeptical. We put ourselves on the line and ensure that every dime that was collected was paid into it. Just to give a little bit of an experience, there were some people who wanted to give money directly and I didn't collect. There were some who even reported me to His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, sitting right there. So there is no money, but if there's anyone that has any money somewhere, please, we really want to let them come forward. We love that.
Thank you.
Okay. Sir, I need to add, because the splinter group of the Labour Party have accused you, which you have answered a part of that question, that you're going to appoint a reputable firm to investigate the party fund. Now, I want to add, why do you have to wait up to this time to account for the fund that were used during campaign? As at the time you came into the party, it's just like a win, and the party never expected that such kind of supporters is going to come to the Labour Party, and that's what was done. And then there has to be crisis. that a lot of members of the executive, they fall out of that camp. And today we have another one accusing. She was part of, I asked her the question, she was part of the executive, but now she has fallen out. She's telling us that about 3.5 billion were realized during the 23 elections. So why did you have to stay? Because they have accused you of concealing corruption in the Labour Party. Thank you.
So, a follow-up to that, if that is Ms. Opara, she was categorical that you attended some of the meetings where she raised this issue as the national leader of the party, and that it was not resolved. And when the Labour Party officials were asked, they said they were not going to talk about it because it involved you. So, from what she said,
they were not going
to talk about it
because it involved me.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the true side of it.
Thank you very much. Let me start by what you say. Why do I have to wait till now? You're talking about the Labour Party issue.
Yes.
I want us to again understand we have two distinct positions. You're talking about Labour Party, am I right? Labour Party account. I don't think I was said, am I right? Treasurer.
Yes.
Yes. That's the Labour Party. I don't think I waited too long. The election was conducted when? February last year. Thereafter, I went into litigation, which ended up when? In November. So, I couldn't have been going to court and be talking about Labour Party accounts. And after ending that, in December, which is when we started even recovering from all the activities of being in campaign from 2022, ending in end of 2023. And we're just in first quarter of 2024. I don't think this has happened before. With anybody in Nigeria counting this quick? Tell me one. In Nigeria, we're used to blaming those who want to do the right thing and leaving those who have been doing the wrong thing over the years. We're now accounting immediately within the first quarter of 2024. I remember when the case ended last year, I said, in 2024, we'll spend it going around to talk and everything. And we just started the process. I could have been calling auditors last year. We're now going to call them and everything. And again, like I said, this is not, I'm not involved in the party accounting. I'm not part of the party management. If you know how party function, the party is being run by elected executives of the party for National Working Committee to that, which I'm not signatory. Even the account campaign and everything, I'm not signatory to any. I'm not signatory to any group account. Everything is being managed. The ones people gave me, I paid it into one account or the other, which was probably managed. Because I know there will be a day like this. And I assure you, we will account for everything. That's why we are calling on every member of the public, local, international, and everything, who have a lead to where he thinks these billions and millions were paid into or given to somebody cash. And I must say, thank you to Aisha, because what she said here is, you know, about people who have come to me and said, oh, we went to Aisha to give her this money, said she doesn't want to take money. I will always say to them, well, listen, pay for this for us. Pay for people actually support us more in kind than in cash. Because a lot of people who pay for our logistics, transport, flights, this, that, paid, which we're very grateful. And we're going to go to them to say thank you. But it's important. For the labor one, I've told you how we're going to solve it. We're not going to solve it by saying, she said, he said. We now have an independent person who will tell us which way forward.
Thank you very much.
The second part of it, the second part of it, that you are involved in some meetings, NW.
Oh, well, listen, of course, this year, I've had meetings, I've been in a meeting where she says so, and I've directed them, I appealed to them to go and resolve it. You know, I just did. I directed them, said, please go and resolve this. You know, but today, it's a public domain, and the public, we all the public, as a transparent person, I don't stay around where issue of funds either mismanaged or embezzled is being discussed. I was governor for 8 years, and I said it when I left that office. I still say it every day, opportunity. I left $150 million and something billion naira, which I was known that there's nobody holding gun for me to do that. And that the same thing is what we're doing here.
Yeah, I just want some clarification on this diaspora funding of donations. If I had His Excellency correctly, you did say that some of the donations were part of the 800 million that you sent.
Yes.
To us. That's one. And then two, you also talked about the fact that what was received was not up to 1% of 150
million.
Dollars.
It is not up to 150 million, remember, 1%. Remember, I want you to put it there.
Yeah, it's a percentage. I want to know. Are there specific figures?
It's not up to 1%. You know?
Figures.
No, when figures are that you can have people who may be a group of this, they can tell you this group send in maybe $50,000. You know, so it's not but the most important is for you to understand that the magnitude of the claim, I said it's not up to 1%, probably under $1 million, if at all.
And put together is what you channel.
No, I said part of it, because some actually came in kind again, but I would cut as donation. Some people brought some, they pay, you can say, oh, you're doing this, why don't you pay for this for us? We're looking for someone who has done maybe t-shirts for us and everything. People, we had more support in kind than in cash. You know, we had all sorts of various support. We are counting here in Aisha on his crowdfunding, and he told you what they received, because it is in crowdfunding that people say we receive 200 billion. So want to know the account where the monies are paid into, because people might have opened the account in their name unknown to us. Yes. So we're not giving you, so those who paid the billions can say, this money is in this account bank, and we'll go there and locate it. Because there's nothing possible, the way things are in this country. Somebody must have opened that account in their name or in anything. And
last question, please. What? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you don't have
this is, like you said, perhaps the first time that this is happening for a major political party. Are you also going to ask the other two persons who contested with you, the two major candidates, to also do the same thing?
please, we are strictly doing our own business.
Okay, perhaps just a one from my side, sir. There have been a lot of talks about opposition candidates forming a merger in order to, you know.
Yes,
please, we want to
It's always easy to get you.
I will avail myself, people are my friends.
Yes.
Take it that you have me now. I will avail myself in the shortest possible time, because it's important that we talk about the state of the nation. Today I want us to talk about this, and I want you to accompany us. I hope that accompany us where we're going to talk about issue of one of the most critical areas of development. You know, this week is from Sunday actually today is that week of the sick. talking about health. So I want us to visit maybe a primary health care center and everything and see how things are. And then I can make about comments about budget support, budget for funding, health sector, and then we'll take it from there.
Thank you very much.
So we will look for you.
Thank you, sir. This should help us support this.
No, hey, what, yeah, you know, for and some people say,
channels, so
it's like already.
it was not on channels.
This is
No.
like, yes, I say so. No, I actually told you that it was sorry, sir, I thought she told you.
No, no,
It's live, sir.
It's fine.
It's live.
Everything you said, we took it like.
You like it?
I mean, that's the beauty of it.
you are not fair.
Actually shows your transparency, so it's fine.
It was in a meeting.
We will report that.
Okay.
You are not fair. I don't hear you, a friend.
This one, I'm the one to fake
I hope I do not hear life. Channel. I hope I do not
Thank you,
hear life.
everyone.
Well, get ready, sir. We're going now.
There are any videos anywhere?
Is that happening? Every time you get eyes.
I have only one ear and one eye.
Anytime they support you, anytime they hear you on television, I'm not saying listen. Lots of people say, I say, so I know they
They will not demand too much. They know the cost of bag of rice now.
Yes, fundraising. Fundraising, just fundraising.